I'm super excited. The topic is so good. It's habit forming for the new year, right? New year, new excitement. Yay! Hello, hello. So nice to see you. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect.
Everything is perfect. Thank you.
Happy New Year and lots of air hugs to you and to all of you over here. Thank you, Sarvai Felino, for joining. So, Chris suggested today's topic to be habit forming for the new year. And of course, you can just trust his inner wisdom. What would be the perfect topic for the perfect time, right? He's so much in alignment with everything that's going on, I just feel, and as well as himself. So I was like, yay! We can't have enough of those. And we will be selecting a topic each month. And Chris will be honoring this space every single Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month, first Wednesday of every single month during this Live at 5 series. So Chris, my dear, first of all, please let us know about some of the books that you have written. I know you have written quite many, and I just loved your most recent book. So do you mind telling us a little bit about that before you dive into the habit forming for the new year?
Absolutely. It's been pretty much a year since releasing Be You, The Journey of Self-Realization. And, so much of the intention behind it was to really, and it's in the subtitle, The Journey of, not to self-realization, because so often, some of the more traditional teachings talk about getting to a point, reaching a point, and it's really not about that. Every day, every moment of every day is an opportunity to be more you, and that is the journey to learn to be you, to respond to situations that we encounter every day long, and feel our sensations, feel what resonates, and be true to that. Learn to be true to that. And that is the journey. And the more true we are every single day, all those decisions that we make, are we making them for ourselves, or are we making them for somebody else? Somebody else's expectations, somebody else's voices in our head. And so this is happening, this journey is happening for every single one of us all day long. It's the purpose of our existence. So not the not the smallest thing, and so Be You really tries to break things down into simple language, simple chapters. You don't have to read the whole book. It's whatever you're dealing with at a specific time. You can jump in and read up about it, and it doesn't matter if you're at the beginning of your journey, in the middle, or at the end, and reminders are always important. There's so much going on in our lives, and there's so much to living, so much wonder and amazingness. So it's my favorite book, and it's it came out of my own journey and my own desire for not having to sift through a lot of material or try to understand complicated language. These were things that were hindering me. They were blocking me from moving forward and expanding more at an earlier time in my life. And so I decided to write something that it gets the language doesn't get in the way of the wisdom, and so you can jump right in. So
love that. Language doesn't get in the way of wisdom. I struggle sometimes because English is not my first language. So many times, my BFFs, all my friends, they are like gentle reminders. Stop telling yourself that. So I do mess up, I goof up, but that's okay. My friends will understand. So be you, and I always say, be you, do you, and have got some fun, right? Life is such a precious opportunity.
Pom-poms, yes, I miss the pom-poms and the heart line and all that.
I'll make you get one now. I'm saving it at your plate.
Yes.
So when you say that this journey, right, the book is all about, and these books are so precious. I can't wait to get my hands on it. So it requires work. I feel it requires patience, it requires time, and it requires guidance by people like you all who are a little ahead in the journey, right? We have some skills, or we have some talents that we have acquired while we have lived our lives, and it's our inherent desire, all human beings, I feel, to share it with others. And sometimes some blockages, things get in our way. as was with me, so sometimes life experiences happened this last month, but I kid you not, the community, the power of community, the power of true friends who keep you in your thoughts, in your prayers, they literally stay in your, not only in your head space, but also in your heart space. So you also are one of those. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for your time that you're spending here. So my second question is, where can people buy, where can I buy this book, Be You? Sounds so good. It's your new website.
Yes, you can't buy it because I'm going to send it to you, but for
I
for
will.
available on my site and on
Let's not fight here.
I'm more than happy to give. But yeah, on my website, Cirroc.com. You can find it on Amazon, pretty much all country Amazons that there are. Also on Google Play, on Barnes and Noble, just all the main retailers. So.
So while you are diving into the topic of today, which is habit forming for the new year, I'm going to type in your website so that people can go ahead and check it out. Treasure. Okay. Just check it out and be in his, like, warm and fuzzy circle, as I say, of your friends. So much value, so much wisdom, so much peace. He's incredible. He's incredible. So go ahead. Start away, my dear.
So, and this is really, so much of this is my own experience as well. And we're being barraged by a very large industry of habit forming. Do this for 27 days, do that for 35 days, or, all these programs that are being offered. And I'm sure they work, everything has an audience, and some things work for one audience and not for another. So you should try them all out and see what works for you. So it's not to denounce anything. I found for myself, however, that so many changes and shifts that I've made in my life, people will ask me, well, how did you, do this, and how did you achieve that? And I would reflect on that, and I would realize that it was just easy. It was natural. It was really what I wanted to. Suddenly, a certain lifestyle change or whatever it may be, it felt natural and truthful. And so then it wasn't even a question of having to kind of try and force myself to do something for 27 days or whatever that, they say the habit forming is. But it was more of a reflection of my internal state. And then things just fall into place. So as an example, cutting out certain foods that just they no longer resonate. Well, as I cleaned up my internal vibration, things on the outside have to be vibrational match. And if they're no longer a vibrational match, then you just don't even want to engage with them. It just, those things didn't taste didn't taste good anymore. They weren't attractive, certain types of people or whatever. It just, the cleaner you nurture your own vibration, and the more truthful and the more honest it is, the more the things in your environment just become very clear of whether they're a vibrational alignment with you or not. And and cutting out the things that aren't becomes very easy. It's just like you don't have a choice. And so you start to surround yourself with higher vibrating, vibrational match people and things and activities and lifestyles, and it's a lot easier, I find that, than trying to just kind of force yourself to change from the outside in, where you're changing your routines and your habits and things on the outside, expecting it to change you on the inside, which I'm sure it works, but I think it feels like it's a harder path to go, right? Outside in, than to change.
Not so sustainable.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's a big point, right? Is it, how sustainable is it too? And the relapse and the falling back. It's just hard to change the environment and then adapt to that, because then you also kind of you get into control situations. You're steering and controlling and manipulating your environment, and that takes a lot of energy, and it's not very natural. It feels like. So, not saying none of those programs are worthwhile. Everyone should do what works for them, but definitely take a look at the healing from within, the nurturing from within, the raising your vibrational state, and then see how that affects the external. And so,
Yes,
especially at
inside,
the year,
inside
right?
is the way. And you know, when you're talking about food or anything, we are a heap of food, right? We are what we absorb, and how we are eating the food, what kind of food we are eating. So like, I'm from India. In traditionally, when someone passes away, transitions to the next journey, we eat fruits. We eat fruits throughout the day. It's like a cleanse while we are processing our emotions. And that is what I was doing this entire month of December. And it helped me so much with the healing, because everything has energy, right? So we want to be mindful about what kind of energies we are surrounding ourselves, putting in our bodies, and also what kind of thoughts we are creating. Like, be intentional in creating, recognizing your thoughts, and knowing that we have the power to change. And sometimes if we can't, then we rely on BFFs, best friends forever, like Sirac over here. And we can always bring them, like, watch the video, replay again, just to give that gentle reminder. So, and keeping things simple, that's what something I resonate with you so much. Keeping things simple is so important, not going after the flashy things, like you're saying, the this project or do this. And I don't like to put myself in boxes at all. Like, if somebody says you do this for so many days, I will maybe make a resolution, but then I will follow my heart and my spirits. Do I want to do it for 21 days? Or maybe I want to do it for 49 days, or however long, right? So start off with some, guidelines, but then bring you into the picture when you're beginning. And then once, as you are, self-realized, as I feel, you will find your own way. It becomes natural to you. So what would be some of the habits that you mentioned? Food habits, right? So what would be some of the other habits that you think are foundational for us to live this year the best way, be the most productive, and live our potentiality to the best?
Mm. Yeah, so that's really beautiful. Back to basics has so much power, and like you said, we get barraged with a lot of complexity and details. But I found always, like a great grandmother's advice, who says, drink enough water, get enough sleep, before midnight, or earlier as much as possible, and rest and balance. And that is, there's nothing complicated to those things. The balance is in the simplicity of things. So keeping things, simple. And I think most of us, know when we're living outside of that simplicity, outside of the bounds of balance. If we're staying up too late for whatever reason, if we're instead of maybe working out or reading a book or taking me time and quiet time, maybe we get pulled into another social gathering or a family event or something, when our inner voice is telling us, no, we don't really want to be doing that, and we do it anyway. And then time goes by, and before you know it, you've sacrificed that me time, the quality me time that we need so much of, really. um, and so we never nurture and really spend time with ourselves enough. And because we're always running out after these outside, kind of we think of them as we're required, and if we don't, nothing is more important than spending time with yourself and being comfortable with yourself. And everything flows from there. From there you set the healthy boundaries of, no, this is the time I need, this is the space I need. When to then say, I'm not going to go out or attend another party or family event or something, because you just know how important it is to be you, to be in your own space, and to be at peace with yourself. And there's a time and place for all those external activities, but it has to be in balance.
Yes, we need to go in our cave, as I say. I have a little closet, tiny closet in my office. That's my cave, where it's just the soul conscious state, right? So important, because we do get lost in the distractions. And again, being present to be able to say no to the good, so that we can continue to say yes to the best, which is us, right? Always yes to us. And you know what? Slowly we become. I know from my journey that I've become comfortable doing that. I've become comfortable saying no, and also realizing and recognizing that the people who are meant to be in your life, the incidences, episodes that are meant to be a part of your life, they will stay. All the fluffs and the frills, they will go away. And again, letting go of people, of memories, is again a process. And it's okay. It's okay. Bless them and let them go, right? Keep yourself as a priority. And gentle reminders such as you and my tribe really helps me to do that. Stay in that empowered state, so that we can meaningfully connect, always being together physically. Like, I had no idea about social media until we had the incidences that's going on for the last 2 years, the crazy incidents. But now I understand the gift that I always have this, always this craving, to connect, to learn, to grow. And this is such a beautiful way to do so, where you can hear people's life's journey, right? So, because you can read all the books you like, but this connection, meaningfully connection, can happen just because we are balls of energy. So we resonate or we don't. So food is something, and again, as you said, back to basics, which is sleeping, following nature, right? I always tell my kids, follow the sun, follow the sun. You move away from nature, nature will come back to haunt you. And nature means we are also part of the soil, nature. We move away from us and start focusing on what other people are doing, what is shiny, what is the next shiny thing, then our bodies will yell at us. So, and I was giving them some books to read, especially my son. He's in ninth grade, like, the Atomic Habits and the 5 a.m. Club and all these things. And I was also encouraging after he was reading, and of course I have to incentivize, because that's not
Always
really,
negotiation, yeah.
yes, and to have that conversation. And always I was saying that don't get brainwashed. Like, I always tell people, don't get brainwashed. Be knowledgeable, learn, and always apply it to yourself and see how is your body and mind, your heart feeling, and then practice it for a while before you go out and teach others. So during these books also, I was telling him that make it your own. What are your takeaways? What are your thoughts? Yes, they are great authors, they are like, bestsellers, but still you are you will have your unique insight. So when you're talking about habits, what do you think some of the simple things people can do to make those habits easy to adopt and stay on course?
Yeah. So the easiest thing, and by the way, just words of wisdom flowing from you. It's just amazing. I could just listen
It's
to.
you. It's your company. It's the vibe. It's all
Yeah.
ideas over here.
Uh, so everything is simple when it's broken down into small steps into the present moment. Essentially, there really isn't any complexity. There's not enough room for fear and anxiety and what ifs and should haves and all of this stuff. It only exists when we kind of get lost in our headspace, and then the story takes off, and we can it's like alternate reality, and it's a limitless canvas that the mind tends to create havoc on. But when we break it down to very simple steps, one at a time, and that could be from when you're preparing yourself a meal. Now I'm taking the toast, and now I'm putting butter on the toast, and now I'm doing it. So in these little steps that keep you focused on the present, there isn't enough room to not feel good and not feel healthy and balanced and simple and like connected, because you're connected to the things that you're doing then. you're not lost in your head and off on another story. So that connection to whatever you're doing, if you're walking, try to count your steps, walking meditation. If you're looking at a nature scene, try to take in the detail of this tree is different from that tree, and look at that branch and this, because it's all unique and it's amazing. It's just get lost, not in your head, but in the beauty and the vastness of nature, and just this world that we live in, this environment. Just look up to the sky. I mean, just everything is just mind-bogglingly just miraculous and magical, and that's a good place to be lost in, and that's not being lost in thoughts. That's being lost in the experience of it. That's being lost in your sensations. Feel your body when, you know, where are you experiencing these miracles, this magical ness of you know, of our existence. Look for where you feel it, because then you stay connected to your sensations as you're connected to your environment, and that in that connectedness there's flow, there's wisdom, there's trust, there's love. That's when you realize everything that exists comes from this place of the love of creation. Everything has been created from a desire of wanting to create, and what has been created and continues to create is just mind blowing, right? You can't even keep up. So rather than try to understand and keep up with the head, just feel it, experience it, flow with it, ride that wave, and then your own vibration starts to match that of the miracle all around us.
That's so powerful. Chris, I could just spend hours like listening to you, just listening to you, your words, sound bath. I always say sound bath, words of wisdom. And you're so right. And because again, comes humility, comes gratitude when you just let yourself be a part, right, of the universe. Like whenever we go out on vacations, from very young, my kids always used to think I'm a little cray-cray. I used to talk. These things didn't make sense to them. But now I notice my son, who's going to be 15, I notice he takes some time away. Maybe he just sits on the rock, just sits. I don't go, I don't, I tell my husband, or don't let him be, Because my husband, like, is he sad? Why is he on vacation? I said, no, he's absorbing, right? Just for a few minutes. My daughter still doesn't get it, but she'll get there. But keep planting those seeds. My dad always said, keep planting those seeds. Okay, wherever they say, it'll wash away, it'll come back. And I see that in my son already. So because that is the truth, right? Just losing yourself sometimes, it's so important because it puts us in our place, right? What tiny minuscule part of this huge cosmos we are, yet so powerful. It's so beautiful. And as you said, love, it's just direct expression, right? Nature is just direct reflection of love, abundance, no limit, no upper limit to love. If you can just love someone for the way they are or what they do, yes, all those matter, because you want to love them, no attachments, no expectations, then it really brings true joy in your heart. And I feel that in you and so many other people, they work with love, they serve with love, live with love. So that's a phenomenal way to live. Now, I would, so you said another thing that you mentioned, and I'm taking notes always, it's breaking them into tiny steps, right? And applauding. You did a good job. Always catching yourself, just like we are told, like we are always wanting to catch our kids or everybody, employee, whoever, we are always wanting to catch them when they are good. Catch yourself. And this is a challenge for me still. Usually it's preconditioning or something. Usually the first thing is like, oh, I did it wrong. Why did I do this way? I could have done it that way, right? But now I'm at a stage, thanks to you all and, presence of beautiful people, that I'm able to quickly shift. I know that the power is within me. I can shift it and just think the opposite. Oh, wow, look at what we accomplished, even if it's very little. Now I can do more. How can I be better? How can I do more? So breaking those in little tiny steps is very important. Whether it's food, whether it's a new habit. So, guys, please give us a lot of hearts, okay? Especially him, because this is no like no preparation ahead. I literally feel every time I just put him in the spot, I just keep asking questions because I trust his wisdom. He always has an answer. Always, I feel so satisfied. So we don't do any kind of, okay, I'm going to ask you these questions. We just go with the flow. Just have fun over here. So can you say, like in the food habit of food, sleep, and hydration? Let's take the three foundations for health. So can you give some examples? How can we break those down? People who are like, okay, new year, I'm going to make changes in my life. How can they make it simple?
Yeah. So, I mean, the easiest way is to look at the individual tasks. And I want to say it happens to me as well. We all continue to grow. We continue.
All work in progress.
We're all work in progress. There's no end. It's not about an end state. It's about it, experiencing life fully and growing from our experiences. Everything we experience is a reflection of us reacting to our environment a certain way. Everyone reacts differently, even to the identical situation. It's a reflection of who we are, right? So every situation is a reflection of who we are, and our response to it is what we experience as our reality. So we're really just always experiencing ourselves in any situation, and from that we have an opportunity to grow. We can resist the situation. We can think that it shouldn't have happened, even though it's already happened.
Why?
Yeah, by me, and get lost in all that stuff. Or we can look within, okay, what does this teach me? What is the situation, how I've responded to it? What does it tell me about myself? So that is an ongoing project. There is no end state to everything is perfect and happy and peaceful. We continue to want to grow and challenge ourselves. So, even for me, when I take on a new project, I will, have to remind myself to do one step at a time, do the little thing, because it's so easy to talk ourselves out of doing something because we think of the big picture. We get overwhelmed by like all the things that have to happen that we think have to happen, because it doesn't actually wind up that way anyway. But we talk ourselves out of it because we think in too big of steps. And so breaking it down into just much, much, much smaller steps, just really taking care of one thing at a time, not living towards the outcome, but living with the unfolding of what you're doing. Just start doing in the smallest increment possible, and then let it unfold. It'll show you the next step, and then the next step, and the next step. And it's an organic unfolding of life. And we can't even imagine how amazing and different and unique that path is going to unfold in our little heads, where we know it's going to happen this way and that way, and then trying to steer and control. No. And that's no fun way to live anyway. Then you're just kind of always going after what you already think you know, and resisting everything else that comes our way, when all of those moments are full of newness and full of miracle and full of things that we didn't expect, full of surprises, full of mystery and curiosity, and all the things that make us feel alive are in the unknown moment, the next unknown moment. So let that unknown moment come along, respond to it, trust yourself, trust your inner voice to respond to it as you see fit, and that how it applies to you, and then roll with it. Let the next moment build on that. One moment of alignment building on another moment of alignment, and so it just continues. And so that's how you build positive momentum in life. But it's little tiny moments, just little tiny steps. If a task feels overwhelming or daunting or too much, break it down into smaller tasks, smaller steps, and keep doing that till you get to a level of this step is very easy. There's no fear, there's no anxiety, there's no resentment, there's no what might happen, right? It's just break it down to the point where something feels easy. And you get to that point very quickly, because and then you kind of get the hang of it, that everything is really easy if you just break it down into a small enough step. And then let it unfold from there. And as soon as you feel a little anxious or like, what am I doing? Then you know you're thinking too big again. You're in your head again. Bring it back to just small tasks that feel easy, that are easy, that are fun, that you know, let that guide you. The fun, little, easy moments. That's the unfolding of your life.
Wow, those little tiny steps defined by you. So let you, or let us, be the guide for our own pace, for our own steps. And that's why the book, be you, right? Be you. There's no being more powerful than you for yourself. So a new word came to my mind. BU meter. Check your BU meter. Are you being you? And then if your BU meter is kind of off the charts, then you bring yourself back to where you are comfortable and where you are joyous.
Yes.
And that creates, I think, sustainable momentum and sustainable habits. And don't beat yourself up if you fall off, you know, the whatever pedestal or whatever expectation that you have put up for yourself. It's a trial and error journey, but always helps to have some guidance, and some some that space where you can feel energized and you can feel inspired to take those steps. Because sometimes it also happens, we might get into the other spiral. And I always feel then our friends, because we human beings are social beings, can be for each other to pull each other up. And Sirach is a wonderful person, as you all can see. He's such a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. So please follow him on his Instagram and check out his website, buy his book, read his book, share with others, and whatever knowledge you gain and apply to your own life, share with your loved ones and with other people in the world. So especially with these, last 2 years, things have been happening. Lot of things, unexpected things people have been going through, and that's what brings us joy. Just bringing this live that we do every single Wednesday and first Wednesday of the month. My sweet friend Chris spends his time about 30 minutes, and then we of course go with the flow. But every Wednesday, I'm here inviting my honored guests, my friends here, so that they can share their insight and experience to enhance our lives. So any final thoughts or words, Chris, before we sign off?
Yeah, I wanted to say, thank you so much for organizing this, and then also sharing about your it's been a tough couple of months for you as well personally, and your own ability to heal and provide a safe space and communicate that out, but come back so happy and so shiny and so nurturing, and it's really beautiful, and to be in your presence, and then everyone that your energy has attracted here. We're all in this together, and we're all connected. So thank you, Mo. It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here. And there's one question. Do you have a few more minutes?
Absolutely.
So Chef Shavi picture, I love that. How to feel chosen is her question. How to feel chosen.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're all chosen in a way, right? We all have a blueprint. Every one of us has a unique blueprint inside, and from this blueprint, that is our inner voice that we respond to our environment one way or another. And does the feeling of like, are you special? Yes, you are special. Are you chosen? Yes, you're chosen to be here, where each one of us are in our bodies right now, and having this experience. And that is just an unbelievable miracle in and of itself. But there's a deeper trust in the whole, the unity in the whole design of life, where you feel yourself as part of it. The more you align with yourself, the more you are true to you, then you start to recognize that that you're breaking down the sense of me and of this kind of individual identity, and becoming. The more you are you, you realize that we're all connected, and there is no separateness. And then you start to feel like everyone. So then you're all right. We're all chosen from that. So it's a great question, and I know there were as many others. We could spend all night here, all evening, all day.
I know, and we love the questions that you put forth. So always, again, we'll be here next month, first Wednesday with Chris, and every Wednesday I'll be here inviting my guests. So always feel free. It's a free space. Feel free to ask questions, and I'm sure you'll always get an answer. And that was a great question, Shavi, and thank you for answering that so beautifully, Chris. And with that, lots of love and light to you and to all of you, my dears. We hope you have a blessed day, evening, afternoon, whatever ahead. And stay blessed, healthy, and joyful. Bye. Take care.